guy comes right.
Why are guns portrayed as controversial? I would say primarily through mainstream media, brainwashing, and the educational system is teaching children that guns are evil, when really the gun is just a tool, an instrument.
You know, I believe guns have been falsely accused and demonized because of specifically different crimes. There is a misunderstanding that guns are the causes for crimes, and that's not the case at all. History and study has shown that crime has actually been reduced by an increased amount of guns. For example, look up Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw, Georgia has implemented rights, I believe since the 80s, where every home is supposed to own and maintain a firearm, with very few exceptions. Their crime rate has been extremely low and dropped significantly in the first year that they implemented this city ordinance.
I believe guns are portrayed as controversial because the media has made it so. In the hands of a good person, a gun does a lot of good. In the hands of a bad person, it does a lot of evil. If you take the guns away from the good people, then they're just going to be victims.
You know, right down the road here, we had a mass shooting at Von Mar, and you know, not quite so much then. It wasn't portrayed as a cry against guns and assault guns, which he did use in that case. But then again, he wasn't exactly sane. He was troubled and on medication for his mental health issues. As you know, you see that a lot too in Newtown and Aurora.
I think guns are portrayed as controversial because of the power of the gun, and any individual who is not experienced with guns seems to be fearful of things that they don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's that fear of the unknown.
Sure. You know, I read a story the other day of a guy who set his shotgun next to the door, fully loaded. Cars went by, people went by, did their everyday life. That gun did not go out there and kill anybody. And that's the problem that we have in America today, is not guns. The problem we have in America today is people.
You know, I think you have a special perspective as you said, veteran.
Yes.
There's one question that I've been asking everyone around here. This rally's been publicized as the Resistance Day rally, or Day of Resistance rally. The question I've been asking everyone is, whom or what should we resist?
Basically, resist anything that would lead us away from the Constitution. Our Constitution founded this country. It made us great. It made us strong because it set apart, and don't forget the Declaration of Independence, because it also established how our rights were given. And these are our rights. They're not something granted to us by some entity of government. It's granted us upon, you know, as the Declaration says, upon creation, not when government feels like giving it to us. That's what we should be resisting. Resisting anyone and everyone that would say, you can't have that right. You can't do this. You have the right. Use it, honor it, protect it.
The Day of Resistance it's about resisting the idea of limiting any constitutional rights that we were given. There's a reason that these intelligent people designed a constitution that not only protected themselves but protected all of us from the word tyranny gets thrown around a lot, but any sort of liberty limiting laws, ideals, or anything that would violate any of our constitutional rights, that, you know, or God-given rights for that matter.
We are basically resisting uneducated legislation. That's basically what it comes down to. We're resisting the powers that have forgotten the reason why the Second Amendment to the Constitution exists. So in the process, they definitely think that tyrannical government would never happen here. Trust me, it certainly can. And so therefore, we resist that type of thing and hope for a constitutional government instead of one that ignores the Constitution like we have in the office right now.
I believe in the one and only right, and that is the right of the individual. As long as that individual is not endangering or hindering the life, liberty, or property of someone else, then they can do no wrong in my book.
About is it important to take a stand? How would you like to feel about that?
Well, it's important to take a stand. I mean, and express your rights, and and there are people in government, people are elected by democracy that don't understand that you can make decisions that alter the Constitution. They think that they have a right to change whatever they want, and at the will of the people. And no, that you have to understand what the Constitution stands for and what your rights are, and as long as you don't infringe on your personal rights, and you got to stand and remind people of that on occasion, and that's been shown through history.
You say it's important to stand up for your beliefs. Bringing it down to setting aside any kind of religious beliefs or morals, simply coming down to the belief in the Constitution. That's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. Absolutely. If you don't stand up for something, you'll end up falling for anything.
It is incredibly important to stand for your beliefs. If you don't stand for it, no one else will. Not everyone shares those same beliefs as you, so they're not going to stand up for them. You have to stand up for your own beliefs. You got to stand up, for everything you believe in, whether it's your right as an individual, your right as American, your right, as just to exist, If you don't stand up for that, someone else most likely won't.
Yes, I would say, in fact, beliefs is probably the wrong word. I would say it's natural-born, God-given rights that we're all born with, and that those rights are not given by government. They cannot be taken away by government. They're all U.S. citizens are born with those rights, and we should stand up and protect them. And the Second Amendment enforces the entire rest of the Constitution.
Yes, it's very important to make a stand for what you believe, especially, I probably wasn't as vocal or as fiery about this until I had kids, and I realized that if I don't do something about this, they won't have anything in the future, or if I don't take a stand and make at least try to make a difference for my generation of people, the next generation of people is going to have it worse than we had it.
I think, as with anything, I think people, that's a part of the integrity of the individual. And if you don't take a stand for something, then by definition you're allowing to happen. Doing nothing is supporting those that are doing the things against you.
By not taking a stand, you might as well have just given up your rights and here, take what you want.
I think the more people that take a stand, criminals act the way they do, is because people don't take a stand, because people cower to what the criminal is doing, because they don't have the means to defend themselves. If more people stood up against that, then that would diminish. And it's been shown in any state that has gone to an open or a carry law that those violent crimes shift.
If you do not take a stand for your beliefs now, it's basically what Winston Churchill said. If you do not fight the battle when there is a chance of winning, or you do not fight the battle when you have a fair chance of winning, then you're going to have to fight the battle when all is against you and the chances of winning are very slim. Therefore, if you do not get active now, likely you'll have to fight when the chances of winning will be slim to none.